2, 1. Okay. Make sure you note there's no Zoom on Wednesday because of the test. So your test is going to be on Wednesday. You won't have a Zoom class on Wednesday. Okay? No Zoom class Wednesday because you're going to have your test. So all you're going to do on Wednesday is take your test, and I'll be here if you need help, of course. Your test is going to be on mean and order of operations. So we're going to review a little bit of order of operations today since we did that before spring break. So make sure you know no Zoom on Wednesday. I always get a lot of questions about that whenever I cancel it for your test. So no Zoom because of the test, but I'll be here if you need me. So you don't have to have your book open if you just want to write these down. What you're going to do today in math when I unlock your Shobi is you're going to review mean and order of operations. Mean, I think we have down pretty well now. We're going to go back and look at some order of operations because it's been a while. So write this one down. 45 divided by 5 minus 1 plus 3 times 7. Okay, there's some rules we need to remember with this. So I'm going to write down, my dear Aunt Sally. Remember, that's what we did. And remember, the arrow goes left to right, left to right. We do any multiplication and division first, and we do whichever one comes from left to right. After we do all of our multiplication and division, then we do any addition and subtraction, and the ones that we do first are the ones that are going left to right. So on the problem you have, the first thing we want to do is look for any multiplication or division. And then I want to see which one comes first, which is 45 divided by 5. So I would write that down as 9. Then I would rewrite everything else. Minus 1 plus 3 times 7. So each time you're just going to bring it down. Then I look for any other division or multiplication, and I see multiplication here. I know that 3 times 7 is 21. So then I just rewrite everything else. 9 minus 1 plus 21. Okay, remember that so far? Then I look and I've done all my multiplication and division. So I'm going to do addition and subtraction. And I'm going to do whichever one is going first, left to right. And the first thing I see is 9 minus 1. I know that that's 8. And then I drop down the plus 21. And 8 plus 21 is 29. Okay? So the steps you need to remember on that are multiplication and division first, going left to right. Then addition and subtraction, going left to right. Some of you are still doing it just whichever one you see first, and you can't do it that way. It won't give you the right answer. So I'm going to let you practice some of these. Remember, I turned off the chat because it gets a little too distracting. So when you have your answer, just hold on to your answer, and then we're going to do it together. So the one I want you to do, I'm going to give you a harder one because I feel like you guys are there now. You know how to do all of these. So the one I want you to do is 44 divided by 2 times 3 minus 12 plus 4. Okay? 44 divided by 2 times 3 minus 12 plus 4. I'm going to write my dear Aunt Sally over here so you can remember it. So try that one out. It's been a while since we've done these and see what answer you get. Remember, you shouldn't have any remainders for your answer. And when you divide, you should be getting no remainders at all. So if you're dividing and you're getting a remainder, go back because you didn't do that one right. I'll give you a second to do this one. and then we'll go over it. I got it as stylus, so you can have semi-neater handwriting for me. Remember, as you work, you do multiplication, division first, working left to right, then subtraction and addition, working left to right. All right, so let's look at this one together. So I'm looking for any multiplication or division first, and the first thing I see is 44 divided by 2. So that's going to be the first thing I do, and if you do that, you get 22. I'm going to rewrite everything, times 3 minus 12 plus 4. Okay, then I'm going to look for any other multiplication or division, and I see 22 times 3, which gives me 66 minus 12 plus 4. We don't have any more multiplication or division, so next we're going to do addition and subtraction. And the first thing we see is 66 minus 12, because we're going left to right, and we get 54 plus 4. We bring that down, and we get 58. So 58 would be your answer here. And these should kind of look familiar because these are the classwork ones that we did before. These are the kind you can't really make up in your head, because if I make one up, I could get negative numbers like we did that one time, or remainder, so I'm trying to copy them out of the book. Okay, so thumbs up in the camera if you were good. Thumbs up or down or sideways. Okay, all right, let's try another one. I'm gonna give you semi-hard one. 20 times 10 minus 4 divided by 2 plus 8. 20 times 10 minus 4 divided by 2 plus 8. Okay, try that one. I'm gonna give you one more minute or so to try this one. I think it froze the screen again. Hold on. I'm gonna try to fix why it's not sharing on your screen. It seems like I only ever have this problem in the afternoon. All right, give me just a second. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's look at this one. So I see multiplication and division is the first thing I have to do. I see multiplication here and division here, but I'm going to do whichever one comes first when we're going left to right. So that means I have 20 times 10 first. 20 times 10 is 200. Then I'm just going to rewrite everything else. Minus 4 divided by 2 plus 8. Then I know I need to do the division I see here, 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So then I'm going to rewrite everything over here. 200 minus 2 plus 8. Okay. Then I have 200 minus 2 first, which is 198. And then I drop down the plus 8. And that equals 206. Okay, so I'm going to double check. Yeah. So 206 should be your answer. Now there's a hard one in your book that's under the test prep section. I'm going to do it with you. And if you just want to watch me do it, you can. If you want to do it on your paper with me, you can. But if it's easier for you to watch, you can just watch this one. So this one is a long one. It's if you're on or in your book, it's page 193, number 25. So if you're in your book and you want to look at it, page 193, 25 is the one I'm going to do. So it's 46 times 8 plus 10 minus 50 divided by 2 plus 75. I'm going to have to erase this to fit it. Divided by 3 minus 100. Now, I would never give you one like this on a test. Okay, this one is a long one. This one is just one of those challenge ones. So we're going to see if we can do it. Now, I'm going to use the calculator on this one, make it go a little faster than showing you the math. But if we're doing my dear Aunt Sally, and we're going to do any multiplication or division first. So I see this one, 46 times 8. So 46 times 8 is 368. Remember, you don't have to write this one down if you just want to watch. So 368 plus 10 minus 50 divided by 2 plus 75 divided by 3 minus 100. So the next thing I want to do is look for any division or multiplication, and I get here. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So I'm going to write 368 plus 10, scoot that over a little bit, minus 25 plus 75 divided by 3 minus 100. Okay, so then I need to look for any of my last multiplication and division, which is here. 75 divided by 3 is 25. So I'm going to rewrite everything around it. Okay, so then we do addition and subtraction going left to right. So 368 plus 10 is 378 minus 25 plus 25 minus 100. So then 378 minus 25, we get 353 plus 25 minus 100. So 353 plus 25 is 378 minus 100, 278. So those, I'm not going to give you one like that on your test. So that one was a little bit of a challenge one. You won't have one like that, but if you look at it, that's how far they can go. You can have ones that are super long. You won't have any like this in 5th grade either. They're pretty much, next year they'll be pretty much the same length as the one you have now. It'll just be parentheses next year. And a lot of you guys already told me what parentheses mean. So let's do one more practice one, an easier one, not like this one, for you to try. And then we're going to do some mean practice. Then I'm going to let you go and do your classwork for the day. So let's do an easy one. 35 minus 5 plus 10 divided by 2. Those are more like the ones you're going to see. On your test, you'll just have some of these ones we've already done. Whenever I make your test, I usually just go through classwork you've done and pull those problems. So classwork's going to be your best thing to practice. If you go back on Show Me, you can actually go back and practice ones you got wrong. If you want to pull up old assignments, you can. And if there's some that you got wrong, just copy them down and practice them again. And if you need to know if the answer's right, you can always ask me and I'll tell you. So that's a good way to practice, or you can Google order of operations worksheets. You just have to make sure they don't have the parentheses and exponents. Or you can just redo the ones in your book. That's the best way to practice because those are the ones that'll be on your test. So let's do this one together. Any multiplication or division, we have here 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now I have 35 minus 5 plus 5. So I do 35 minus 5 first, and I get 30 plus 5 is 35. Okay? That's what you should have gotten there. All right, I'm going to give you some mean ones to practice, real simple ones. And then I'm going to talk to you a minute about science, then I'll let you go. So let's do the mean on these. Again, these are ones we've already done, but that's what's going to be on your test is ones we've already done because I want you to be able to practice them. Let's do 23, 37, 41, and 19. Okay, find the mean of those. Remember, you add them up. So I add up 23, 37, 41, and 19. And I have 4 numbers here. So once I get that sum, I'm going to divide by 4. You got to stack them up and add them. I'll give you a little bit more time. The part that takes the longest, I think, is going to be adding them because you really have to make sure you add them correctly. Even though I'm 30 years old, I still sometimes go too fast and I miss a number or two. So make sure you're taking your time when you add so that you don't miss any numbers, because if you do, that's going to mess up the whole problem. Sometimes I do each column twice just to make sure. No shame. You're not timed. You can take as long as you want. Okay, so even if you're not done, I'm going to show you how to do this one. When you add all of these up, you should have gotten 120. Okay, there's 4 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take the 4 and divide it into 120. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract. And 0. Bring down this 0. 4 goes into 0. 0 times. 4 times 0 is 0. You've got 0 remainder, so you're good. So your mean would be 30. Okay? Remember that if you have a 0 here, you still need to bring it down. Okay? You can't just leave it. All right, let's do this one. This one's a good one because I think some of you are still confused on the zeros. 88, 0, 78, and 90. So the majority of your numbers here are 7, 8, and 9, and those can get kind of confusing if you don't make sure you're adding them up properly, okay? Because those are bigger numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and stack it too. Joshua, make sure you're doing these in your journal. I can still see you if you're not doing the work. All right, I see a lot of you look like you're done. Some of you still look like you're writing. All right, most everybody looks like they're done. And again, you've already done these. So if you haven't finished, you can just watch. All right, when you add them up, you get 256. I did it on the calculator just because I'm an adult and I can do that. But I even did it twice just to make sure, okay? And stress that to you. Look at the top. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So even though one of those numbers is a 0, you still have 4. So 4 goes into 256. 4 goes into 25 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. Bring down the 16, or sorry, bring down the 6 to get a 16. 4 goes into 16 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. You get 0. So 64 is your answer. On your test, you have all day to take it and half of the next day if you want to. You can take your time. I don't grade your test until all of them look done. But even though sometimes some of them are done, some of you will message me and say, hey, don't grade it yet, I'm not ready. That's fine. If you want to text me or send me a message on Shobi and say, it looks done, but I'm going to go over and check it again, you can do that, okay? And if you totally do bad, you guys know that if you fail or you do bad, I can let you retake it. So sometimes I go ahead and just say, okay, go ahead and retake this. Sometimes it slips my mind and I don't think about it. So if I don't say, hey, go retake this, you can still ask me and I'll say, yes, you can retake it, okay? So no need for any of us to do poorly on this on Wednesday. All right, so today what you're going to do is a worksheet I have up, and it will be, I think it's like 4 order of operation problems and 4 mean problems. We might have already done them here, to be honest, because I just pulled them out of your book. Make sure you double check your answers. You're not getting any remainders. You're dividing by the right number of numbers. Remember that tomorrow is your science vocab test. Okay? Your actual science chapter test will be sometime next week, either Monday or Tuesday. And I will get you your study guide this week so you can start studying for that. We will be reviewing and looking at some more weather stuff. I just saw on Facebook before I got on here with you guys, one of the stations, the weather stations, our news stations in town has the weather lady on there, and she's doing some kind of experiment or something with, I think, humidity. So I'm going to see if I can find it, and if it's anything good for you guys, I'll post it up for you. I'll try to find some cool videos for you guys with weather, since we can't be at school together doing it. So remember tomorrow, science vocab test. Wednesday, math test. No Zoom. And if you need to Zoom or you need me to help you, I'll be here to help you. We just won't have a lesson for it. Okay? Friday is your capitals test on Montana through Wyoming. So that'll be matching just like before. Make sure that when you're doing the social studies, writing on the map is fine, but when we get to the really small states, you might want to do it on notebook paper because it's not going to look very clear on that piece of, well, not piece of paper, but on the picture. If you can fit it and I can read it, that's fine. But if it gets to where it's too crammed, do it on notebook paper for me and just number it. Go through, guys, make sure that you've done everything on Shobi. The red circle sometimes is misleading. What's happening with some of you guys is you'll ask me a question and I'll answer it, but once I question or answer your question, a red circle goes there. So some of you guys think you've done it because you see the red circle, but sometimes you haven't done it and it was just me and you talking back and forth. Okay, so just make sure you see a grade on everything and you've done it. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to unmute you in just a second. I'm going to go on Shobi right now and unlock your assignment for today. The one in science is just to do the fill in the blank notes. They're super easy. It's on what we did Friday. So the worksheet for today says mean and order of operations worksheet. It's unlocked. It's due tomorrow at 4. Okay. So every time I put up an assignment, you have until 4 o'clock the next day to do it. So if you need to do the others before you do mine, that's fine. All right, it's unlocked. I'm going to unmute you. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask. If not, you're free to go.
How great of a sister have you been to him?
Bye, Miss Clark.
Clark.
Oh, look at me.
Bye.
Miss Clark.
Bye.
Wait,